we're being completely honest here, you can come up with the best business, you can come up with the best business model, you can have everything laid out. But the reality is this: if you don't get your mindset right, if you're not willing to take the action, nothing will happen. And actually, I would say this part is probably the most important part of most people starting a business, because everyone comes up with a business idea once in their life. Let's be honest, right? You see someone doing something and you think, I could do that too, or whatever it is, whether it's a big idea, a small idea, everyone comes up with some sort of a business idea. And I heard someone once say that a business idea is like everyone has it. I don't want to say what they said. It's a bit offensive. A bum. They said a business idea is like a bum. Everyone has one. But they didn't say bum, they said something else, so maybe it doesn't sound as good. But let me give you some tips on how you can go about working on your mindset and how you can go about taking action. See, the problem here is a lot of people will come up with a business idea, but they won't go on and take the action and won't start the business. I would say actually one of the biggest things that sets me apart from people is if I come up with a good business idea, I go on and take the action. That makes a huge, huge difference because I came up with many business ideas when I was younger as well. And unfortunately, I never took the action. I just didn't do anything. And why? Why did I do nothing? Well, people around me weren't willing to take the risk. People around me kept saying to me, what's the point? Or, they kept talking about the negatives. And I was like, yeah, what if I fail? Or what if something goes wrong? You have to understand something, right? The bigger risk here, for everyone listening, remember this one point. The biggest risk and the biggest issue right now is you do not do something and you carry on working a job for the rest of your life, or you do something for yourself and there is a potential that you could change your life. Now, for me, what sounds crazier is not reaching my potential, not giving it a try, and actually living in regret. Because I tell you something, when regret comes knocking on your door, you'll regret not going through the pain of starting a business and taking the action. Because that will feel so much worse than potentially failing on a business. See, you might fail and you might succeed, but you have an option. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And you know what? Even if you fail 3, 4, 5 times, the 6th time you might succeed because it's what you needed to learn. And sometimes people learn by taking the action. Sometimes people learn by committing to what they need to do. So, what is the problem? Why are you not taking action? Well, people say that, what if I fail? Well, I've got a job. I don't have time. That's not true. You're working a job from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. You've got the evenings. Even if you spend 2 or 3 hours every single day and you spend time 3 or 4 hours on the weekends, you have a lot of time. You can find 20 hours in the week to start a company for yourself or start a business for yourself. It definitely makes sense. And what is the worst that happens? Say you're working a job right now. What is the worst that can possibly happen? You're working a job and I'm saying to you, take 2 hours out in the evenings from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, have your dinner, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, work on your business. And then on the weekends, 3 hours, work on your business. That means you would have given your business 16 hours every single week. And if you do that every week, I guarantee you will start understanding and seeing some results as long as the idea is good and it makes sense. And obviously, we will go through the rest of the parts of how to make a business successful.